See this graveyard of tires here?
This is the result of a very violent flat tire that I got on Sunday, riding on Monsieur Tire Slayer himself, and being the 29-year-old man-child that I am, attempting to be an impressive fixed gear rider riding through the city. Picture a curb here, me riding beside it and trying to hop onto it, coming up short on the rear tire, and ripping a pretty good hole in the tread sidewall area of the tubeless tire that was sitting on the rim. Sealant had no chance. No problem, I keep an overstock of my old cyclocross tires up here exactly for that reason. Tracklocross bike is going to destroy tires. Once one gets ripped through, change it out for one that's up there, end its life as well. That should work out pretty good. Nope, not one of the 5 tires that I tried to seat back onto the tubeless rim that is on that bike would take. All of them burping and throwing sealant out of it. Me having the equivalent of a hormonal teenage freak out, throwing things everywhere as it won't work, eventually taking an X-Acto knife to every single tire that wouldn't work, and then taking a break to look at the reaction that I'm having and maybe reassess where my anger is coming from, resulted in probably my new favorite Tracklocross tire setup. As a rule of thumb, something I always kind of believe is that the biggest change in appearance that you can make on a bike is to mess with wheels and tires. And while no doubt this thing did not at all look bad with the 33C mixed terrain cyclocross tires on it, it looks way cooler with these like 37, 38 mil, pretty much slick Continental tires on it. There's just something about filling up as much space as you can in a bike frame that just I can't get enough of. And unfortunately, that means this is probably the new minimum size that I needed to go with every time I put a tire on this bike, because I'm never going to be able to go back. Let's address this because I know you're wondering about it. Yes, that is very, very tight and very, very close and gives me like a slight bit of anxiety. However, I've always been a little bit less of a fan of the gearing that I have on this. The gearing that's on here is just a little too heavy for what I want to do with it. So I did order a new chainring. I'll have to put a different crankset on this because this is 130 BCD. 42 tooth that I ordered will allow that rear wheel to come back a little bit. I might have to pull a link out or something. But for now, maybe this will work. I just have to hope that like the wheel doesn't slip and that nothing gets caught in between the like 2 millimeters of space that I have. And it does indeed have tubes in it, which hurts my heart immensely, but brings my blood pressure down a little bit because I was mad. Real mad. Like, I'm not proud of how mad I was, and I almost hesitate to tell you guys how much I freaked out. But here I am. Okay, I have not ridden this like this yet, so let's go do that. So I know like a few weeks back, we spent some time and we built like this year's winter specific riding bike, but I just kind of see myself riding this maybe a little bit more often than that we built. It's just kind of what I see happening. The biggest that I need to address, the like one thing that I need to address is not having these, but it's hard to not just want to like jump onto something in like a normal pair of shoes and not be like click-clacking everywhere you go. So it's like a nice fit for right now, but I'm still very much on the prowl for a proper, good-looking, casual SPD shoe. Actually, I'm not at all on the lookout for them. They're everywhere. I'm just like afraid to spend the money on it, because if it sucks to walk in or they suck to ride in, I'll be really mad. It's kind of cool background. I'd say I'm at like a 50-50 split in like lean down recoveries, grabbing cameras off the ground while riding. That's not bad. Also, check out this warehouse. This would be like the perfect size. Too bad Develop Nova Scotia is definitely not going out of business anytime soon. Yep, definite passing grade. Kind of excited for the new chainring to show up, however. The number one reason being, I would like to bring this tire back a little bit, just to get the width of the tire between the two dimples. Right now it's like further in and past it, and obviously the seat tube to tire clearance is just, well, it's just laughable. And two, obviously since building this thing, I've always expressed a little bit of interest in having just like a slightly easier gear for all the like off-road stuff. Like especially bombing into some like simple single track, I think having an easier gear to control would just make that slightly more enjoyable. But yeah, this tire setup just like changes the look of this thing completely, in my opinion, for the better. It's pretty fun. Okay, as far as I understand, there are some very pretty lights to go look at in downtown Halifax today, and I think we better go do that. And that was the 2020 City Hall Christmas performance. I don't think Norton liked it.